I have a weird situation in my house. I've been with my wife for 10 years. You know, living back and forth with them, living back and forth with her parents. And now we own the place. We allowed them to stay in our house until they retire. And this year they retire. And he has other plans of coming back whenever he chooses. We just had another baby and we need that space. And my wife wants to wait. I don't want to piss her off, but at the same time, I need to get them the hell out at the same time. So I don't know which way you would handle it to be the nicest way. It's one of those conversations it must be had, but it's hard to have.
Of course.
Thank you.
So basically, this guy's saying his in-laws have crashed with him for 10 years?
Yeah. No, he's been with his wife for 10 years.
Oh.
Living
back and forth with her parents.
Yeah.
And now they own the place, and they allow them to stay at their house until they retire. Now, this is interesting. Was it their house that you bought from them?
Yeah.
Because that blurs the lines a little bit here. He might feel entitled to it because it's like, well, we fucking gave you a steal on the thing, and maybe legally you own it. Now,
But they're like, but we're the ones who hung up that piece of art.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's my art now, you twat.
That's right. Check the fucking paperwork.
That's my Montel Jordan hugging Magic Johnson laminated photo that I got from Spencer's Gifts. You might have framed it, but I
picked it out. Yeah. I had the eye. I knew it would fit over the mantle. And you got a cheap fucking... By the way, if you don't think I know that's the cheapest fucking frame at Michael's, you're out of your mind, bitch.
Oh, shit.
So basically, now the fact that you just had another baby, you need the space, that's something where...
Yeah.
And your wife wants to wait. Dude, like... It's hard because I think the way you do it is talk about the baby and be like, hey, man.
I think so.
We had this conversation. Like, you know, this was the plan. Is there anything we can do to help you? Like, what was his plan when they retired?
Right.
You don't want to sound angry, I don't think.
No.
You want to sound like, hey, you know, we really could use the space. Is there something we're all family here? And it sounds like maybe they even did help you out, right? Like, I don't know the specifics, but maybe you do kind of owe them one. Mm-hmm. Them going back on their word is fucking annoying, don't get me wrong, but you also want to think of this in the grand scheme of your family. You might be legally, technically right, but that's not going to make your life easier. You know what I mean? What, are you going to fucking evict them? You're going to evict your fucking father-in-law? You're not going to do that, right? So they kind of have you by the balls in a weird way. Mm-hmm. It's annoying, but you have to tread a little lightly. And I don't know. I guess I would get your wife a little more on board. Because if it's you versus your in-laws plus your wife, that's a tough battle. You need your wife aligned with you here. And you need to come up probably first with a plan with your wife, and then as a united front, go to your in-laws. Because otherwise it could just, and I hear it in his voice, he's pissed.
Yeah.
He wants to fucking DJ Jazzy Jeff, throw him out Fresh Prince style right now. But you can't do that, bro. You have to kind of help them come up with a plan, and it's going to take longer than you like. That's just reality.
Well, in reality, Stavros, is what we all struggle to recognize, but also realize. And I talk about that in my book, We've Got Issues. Scroll up for me again so I can read the top.
Are you okay?
This is Dr. Phil Stavros. Just stick to the script, play along for a minute. Choosing to do a fun little comedy bit.
A stroke.
No, my strokes are daytime talk show hosts.
He can't stop.
Some people stroke out and act like Ricky Lake. I act like Dr. Phil McGraw. Check out my Netflix special. Dr. Phil is Unleashed, streaming on Netflix right now.
Check it out. It is good.
Now, look, if you're living with your folks, things aren't going according to plan. Mm-hmm. Let's start there. Now, you're waiting for them to retire from what? Driving the bus? Working for Delta Airlines? Do they make the applesauce at Panera? Either way, you're living with a couple of deadbeats, okay? And I know they're your wife's parents. I know she lived in his jizz at some point, right? We all did. We all lived in jizz.
Right.
Even the guy who wrote Jungle to Jungle came from jizz.
Yes.
But what I think the main move and the main idea here is you got another baby coming, and that's too many. You can overstay your welcome. And it's time for the parents to recognize that it's baby's day out and it's daddy's day in. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So Rick Moranis shrunk his kids on accident.
Ooh.
I think this guy would love to shrunk the in-laws on purpose and put them inside of a used condom and leave them underneath the bed at a La Quinta in Rancho Cucamonga. We'll be right back. Best of luck to you.
Good luck.